Hi, I'm Stephanie from the Manlius Library. Did you know that May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Month? This month is dedicated to recognizing the many contributions of Asian Americans to the history, culture, and achievements of the United States. In this episode of Tune In Tuesday, we'll look at some of the great books written by Asian Americans that we have in our collection. This first book was suggested by our library director, Jennifer Milligan. Days of Distraction by Alexander Chang is a debut novel about a young Asian American woman moving from San Francisco to Ithaca, New York with her boyfriend as she struggles with their interracial relationship, her career, her family, and her identity. A quiet, thought-provoking novel with humor and pain as you follow her quest to understand and accept her heritage and find her way forward. Recently, I read Interior Chinatown by Charles Yu. Written from the second-person perspective, this novel explores the Hollywood tropes and Asian stereotypes. There are even a few interesting historical facts throughout the book to give you a clear perspective. Overall, it is a clever and hilarious book that I found really enjoyable. Charles Yu also wrote How to Live Safely in a Science-Fictional Universe, a novel about a father and son relationship.
Hi everyone, I'm Tibby, and I'm here to tell you today about a wonderful book called Dial A for Aunties by Jess Suntanto. Run, don't walk for this sunshiny nugget of absolute fun. I guarantee you won't stop laughing. It's best described as one accidental murder, 2,000 wedding guests, 3 generations of a Chinese-Indonesian immigrant family that have been cursed, and 4 meddling aunties. It's not a book if you are really a reader of gritty crime and cannot let go of reality. This book requires that you suspend all belief. It's a rom-com, it's a caper, it's a book for people that love family relationships, who can appreciate those cringeworthy moments that only a family can produce among their family members. It's side-splitting, laughing, complete fun, and it's a great way to kick off the summer reading season. I hope you enjoy. I highly recommend it. Thank you.
Hey everybody, I'm Bill, and I'm the Public Services Librarian at Manlius Library. One of the books I enjoyed recently was Leave the World Behind by Rahman Alam. He's an American author of Bangladeshi origin. And this book is unlike anything I've read before. Critics have described it as a disaster novel without the disaster, and the book only hints at what the disaster unfolding exactly is. There's a sense of doom that permeates the pages of Leave the World Behind, people clinging to normalcy and the mundane throughout calamity, all from an Airbnb in the Hamptons. And I suppose I'm doing a bad job of selling this book by essentially saying, this is a book that will make you feel anxious, and yet I do recommend it. Alam creates a rich world that feels just a little too real, so society is teetering along the brink of some calamity straight out of the Book of Revelations. And now that I've really killed the mood, like I said, I recommend the book, and hopefully our next reviewer will have something a little cozier or more uplifting for you.
Hi everybody, my name is Laurie and I'm the teen librarian at Manlius Library, and I have not one but 2 books to share with you in celebration of Asian American Heritage Month because I just couldn't decide. So the first one is called To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, and this is part of a series, the To All the Boys series. The second one is P.S. I Still Love You, and the third one is Always and Forever Lara Jean. It's also a popular and really well done, surprisingly well done, Netflix movie trilogy. So you could also find it in movie form. But the book is wonderful. It's about Lara Jean, and she's in high school now. And every time she's ever been in love with a boy, which is 5 times, there have been 5 boys she's been in love with, she writes them letters, love letters. And she pours out her heart and her soul, and she tells them everything that she's feeling. And then she hides them away in a hat box that her mother gave her for safekeeping because they're hers. And then one day, mysteriously, they get mailed. And her life and her love life just turn upside down and go all topsy-turvy. And she just doesn't know what to do. So it's a romance. It's contemporary fiction. It is realistic fiction. And it is delicious. It is sweet and funny and charming and happy and it's just wonderful. And it's not just about romance. It's also about friendship, and it's really about family and the connections that we make. So that's To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. And I also recommend the two that come after it, P.S. I Still Love You and Always and Forever, Lara Jean. Her story is terrific. I think you'll enjoy it. But if you're looking for something a little different than sweet, romantic, realistic fiction, I have to recommend 1,000 Beginnings and Endings. And there's the cover. It's a little hard to see because it's very dark. But this is 15 retellings of Asian folk tales and fairy tales. Myths and legends, not folk tales and fairy tales. Myths and legends. Some of them have been turned into folk tales and fairy tales. It's edited by Ellen O and Elsie Chapman, and the authors are all East or South Asian or Asian American authors who, very prominent young adult authors, who have taken the myths and legends from their heritage and retold them. There's fantasy and science fiction and some contemporary, a little bit of creepy horror. And if the sweet, predictable, happy ending, although this isn't as predictable as you'd think, but if that's not really your thing, I can guarantee you not every ending in this one is going to be a happy one. So that's 1,000 Beginnings and Endings, edited by Ellen O and Elsie Chapman. And that's 15 retellings of Asian myths and legends. Thanks.
Thanks for watching. Let us know what you thought of the books that we've shared today. Bye.